This episode of The General's Gentleman is sponsored by Sorcerer King Rivals, a new 4X grand strategy game where heroes of might and magic and Age of Wonders meet civilizations. Build your cities, gather your armies, and grow your magic to stop the evil Sorcerer King.
Welcome to The General's Gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Company of Heroes 2. We are a little overwhelmed with the variety of replays that we now have. One of our earlier casts, I was having a bit of a cry about how hard it is to get good replays, and because of this patch now, a lot of the good players are active, and we actually had to choose from, I think it was 7 replays of all really top players.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a pleasant surprise, it's probably more of a pleasant happenstance, because it's expected that's going to happen when a new patch comes out. It is very nice to know nonetheless, because it's good to be casting high-level games again and having the choice of games as well. So great for casters. Loving it. So today, 2 of our top players will be Devm. He's going to be spawning in as our USF.
And HelpingHans as the OKW. Shout out here, Devm has his own Devm commander. There's a few of the community members that have their own portraits made up by the very talented Rita Rush, who has actually made some artwork for us. It was the thing that we had for a while on our Facebook cover photo, the painting of us.
Yeah, with the kangaroos, it was so cool.
Yeah, yeah, and then there was one of me and some other Coh2 guys as an RAF pilot.
Very, very cool. Yeah, so do check out her stuff. She's pretty bad.
She's also a female that plays Company of Heroes too.
Yeah!
I don't know how many of them there are.
That so happens.
Hopefully our YouTube analytics aren't anything to go by as far as that is concerned. I don't think this is.
Oh, this is not the Jesus patch? Right, I wasn't sure. We got confused the amount of games there was. This is, however, the no longer winter change seasons patch. So,
yeah. The March patch it was called, I believe. So, yeah, Devm, very aggressive US player, known for his just very aggressive play. He pushes hard. He goes for your cutoff. He locks you out of your tech, and he crushes you. He is a big fan of the armor company. We saw him use that to great effect during the Winter Warpaint Championship. I always get those two mixed up because they both have 3 letters and they both start with a W, so it's bad news.
Really cool play by Devm there, actually denying the Kubu cap without overly trading, so he can get some more squads out on the field. Don't want to give the Kubu too much opportunity to trade essentially free damage onto your squads.
Yeah, the Kubu is notorious for not actually dropping models but doing a lot of health damage, and that's really bad for US because their medic, the Ambo, is expensive, both in fuel and that manpower.
Let's see, Devm living up to his standard play, already going for the cutoff. There's only a couple of points there, but hey, might as well go for it early on. Trading out quite nicely, trying to keep the rifleman squads on the field. He doesn't have an ambulance yet, so this play isn't actually too bad. I mean, sure, he might drop a few models, he's probably going to lose engagements, but I mean, what's the point of retreating when you don't have anything to retreat to?
I just liked how Devm wasn't quite satisfied with the level of cutting off that he did. He wanted to up his game and triple cut off Hans. But the problem with that is now actually Hans took Devm's cutoff, so maybe that wasn't the right play to make. If he consolidated his cutoff, he would have been in a better spot. But it just depends for how long he loses it.
Also, the triggering of only having single-digit fuel income has been known to tip players off the edge. So there is the lieutenant from Devm. If you say lieutenant, I'm going to slap you.
Well, I'll say
you're still Australian.
Like the German thing.
Yeah, still Australian for the moment, and the M20 is going to be rolling out as well.
Yeah, M20. Not often you see that. Actually, it's probably going to be stronger this patch. It wasn't changed, despite our attempts to do so. That being said, I forgot about the Faust changes. Actually, look at that! Look at that glorious 25 munitions.
Praise.
Not only that, notice how the Panzerfaust is available, and yet the truck hasn't been deployed. So now the only prerequisite for the Panzerfaust is that you build a truck. You don't have to actually deploy it. And that's good, because what that really does is it opens up the mechanized truck. Because previously what would happen is the mechanized truck would be suicide if you're versing like an M3s or the M20, because you wouldn't get your Faust until so late into the game. It was like an extra, I think 30 or 35 fuel compared to the battle group. So it definitely was disincentivizing the mech truck, or making it even more risky than it should otherwise be.
Much more consistent relative to other factions, snare timings as well, which is nice. So, yeah, a nice retreat from the Volskrens there.
Yeah, like Wehrmacht, their only requirement is the barracks, which you always get. So they really don't have a requirement. And this is going to be a Raketin in position. Oh wow, this could actually be a dead M20. Okay, he pops the smoke. And I think that was,
shot.
Yeah, missed attack ground there. A little bit late to respond there was Devm, so he got out of that one relatively well.
That was quite cool. It looked like a Kubel block from Hans to block M20 pathing as well, so the M20 couldn't flank the Raketin straight through.
Oh, he didn't mind.
Didn't mind. Oh, nice. Good stuff. RIP.
Oh, there it was. Okay. So actually, that M20 didn't do anything, did it?
No, not really. Pretty low impact. And can we just look at this 2-model squad real quick?
This one.
You know how I said before that Devm isn't retreating because he doesn't have an ambulance? I mean, like, this is pushing a little bit too far. General Stemmen don't recommend you have 2-model squads out on, 10% HP, unless you're Devm.
Man, imagine
go for it.
The mine could have got the rifle squad there. Yeah, it's sort of okay if you know that your capping is safe. There was that cutoff there, so it was very unlikely that a squad would have shown up out of nowhere and just insta-wiped the squad. Whereas you wouldn't want to have that 2-man rifle squad capping this point here, for example, because then there is going to be a squad quite likely to emerge and just kill you. So, yeah, there are times you can get away with doing it, and I think that was one of those cases. But as a general rule, yeah, don't do that.
Is there a Zook on the ground or something?
Yeah,
is that what we're seeing by the
it's
M20?
from the M20.
Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. I was wondering. So.
We're losing a capture point.
So hopefully Devm actually realizes that. He might not. Again, this is the default camera angle, so it's a little bit not obvious.
Yeah, hopefully he finds it. Wouldn't want to give one of those over.
But Devm definitely having the lead in terms of the territory. He's going to have a bit of a fuel advantage here, but the M20 was denied, so it should maybe even things up.
Especially with Hans going for the P2 now. Definitely available and happy to easy to go for that one with the Lieutenant Tech here and the M20 already destroyed.
Good to go.
And a very nice, pretty much zero fuel Panzer II as well.
Yeah, the Panzer II is it's.
That's a Zook gone.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that was actually a really bad play there from Devm. He should have seen the Sturmpires and just evac the house, picked up the bazooka and just go back in the house. I mean, how useful would this bazooka be right now against this Kubel?
Certainly help out. Now the Strum Pioneers have the option. I believe they can still upgrade to the Shrek. There shouldn't be anything stopping them from doing so. We'll have a double infantry AT, pretty much a Vagrant squad running around, taking some shots.
Yep. Good use of these medical supplies as well. Going to be keeping these squads up. Notice the Stern Pioneers are only Vet 0. What a nice change that was. Oh, actually, this could be a wipe. It's on the road to negative cover. And it's a bar on the ground. Man.
Oh.
That's not a good start here for Devm, losing the M20 and also his lieutenant. I mean, it isn't the worst squad to lose, but it's still, losing squads isn't good.
Dropping weapons is worse, Machine. Can the Volsks, can they upgrade anymore? No, okay, right. And able to, requires 2 weapons inventory space. Well, that's nice, at least. It'll just stick with the bar.
So, squad of Panzer Fusiliers. Very, very strong squad. I think this is the best call-in for OKW. But in a 1v1, the commander isn't that good at it. But often the Fusiliers can make up for it. Whereas if you compare it to Jaegers or Fallschirmjägers, those commanders are actually pretty good. They have a lot of other things as well, specifically the scavenge doctrine with the Ottoman and the nades.
Yeah. Devm gets nastily caught setting up the MG, and it's the Incendy, already down to half health. MG won't survive very long, even with a heads up. Oh, match! Reachan are forced into the machine cap, running away from the Panzer II. Hopefully they survive this one.
It's also going to be very good for Hans here, actually keeping this Kubel alive. Because that Kubel really should have died once the M20 was on the field. And because he has that still, it will make it a lot easier for Hans to capture territory. He can be a lot more aggressive towards Devm, and he won't have to neglect his capping as a result. He's on that mine there.
Sure. I mean, even on a relatively thin map, and before we say that, could be another wipe here. Could be the captain going down this time.
He's going to drop the... No,
of course he's going to drop the
Zeke.
Zeke. Disappointing. Devm looking great. It's the lieutenant down and the captain. Obviously, I think I'm not a big fan of these free squads USF gets for taking up.
I just feel so vindicated whenever I see the things that we nerfed still used to great effect. I mean, the Panzer II, much weaker, as in the unit itself is weaker, but there's other changes to make it more usable, and just in general, it was overpowered before, and likewise with the Stuart, you know, just so much whining from people. Like, man, the light vehicle is literally worthless now. Nobody's ever going to bother with the light tanks after the nerfs. People are just going to rush out for their majors. You over-nerf them, where. And, yeah, screw you guys. Well put.
Well put, Callum, well put. So, even on a relatively narrow map, as I was saying, like road to cut off, have a tendency to... Can you guys stop killing each other's units so I can talk? That'd be great. Cheers, Devm. Thanks, man. Kubel goes down. That's going to be nice. Big positive. The map has a tendency to have a focal points around kind of the middle and one particular side where we're fighting, with the VPs obviously split quite evenly across the edges of the map, as are the important strategic points like the fuel and the munitions as well. So another reason the Kubel is really nice, if HelpingHans keeps a hand of that, and now a completely useless sentence as the Kubel has gone down. Devm doing a nice job of picking that one off with the early Stuart.
Yeah, that was a pretty risky spot to cap as well. That was very close towards Devm's base. Maybe getting a little bit too deep there with his Kubel. Also, because keeping that Kubel alive to use that detection ability is very, very good. It gives you some reconnaissance, and that can definitely help out, especially when you're versing MGs, and there is 250 cals on the field. But the Panzer II is going to be an excellent counter to them, especially with its increased damage versus buildings, which was before quite lackluster. Still, the Stuart can definitely 1v1 this Panzer II quite easily.
This is a really bold Stuart play as well. Devm knows there are mines on the field, 2 mines, indeed he's already driven past one.
And not only the mines, but also the Fusilier squad can jump out and throw an AT grenade. And if there's a Puma on the way, that could be dead Stuart. There isn't a Puma coming though, but for all Devm knows, that could certainly be an option. Could be coming.
This is going to be a wipe as well. That's a good evac coming in from Hans. He had evac to the back. He could have been in a lot of danger from a Stuart shot landing on a very clubbed squad. So that's an excellent evac.
Okay, Raketten setting up here. So he didn't actually get the grenade off there with his Fusilier. So the Stuart will back away from this one. If the grenade landed, then the Panzer II could have followed that one up and actually destroyed it, despite the low penetration.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
50 cal, Devm pulls up another Vol squad, along with the bar. Currently our VP's 482 for Hans, 373 for Devm. Still not having locked in a commander, having all options widely available, having gone for Lieutenant Captain Tech. I mean, we'd be guessing it's probably, it could be either of the first two, it could be heavy cavalry or his own commander.
Yeah, most people don't like armor very much, but Devm definitely likes armor. He still has the Stuart though, so at the moment he doesn't really need the M10, because the Stuart is still going to counter that Panzer II. So maybe we'll see a emergency M10 if something else rocks up, but currently it's a little bit far off here, especially HelpingHans not having any call-in vehicles, so he will have to go for his Panzer headquarters.
Nice dodge from the Fusiliers here. second squad coming out in the field.
Oh
Yet
man,
with the
not again.
G43s, that could be another wipe if the Panzer II goes on a chase.
Stuart's on the way, but might be too late here.
How deep is the Panzer II going to go? It knows the Stuart's on the field. There could be mines here.
No, just kidding, Blake. He's playing US.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, heavy cavalry, so yeah, it's possible.
It's possible,
Yeah,
but yeah, I get.
Yeah, that's
I,
yeah. My bad. I forgot he was playing US.
You gotta remember, some
Callum.
factions have gaping design flaws.
Ah, right.
See,
of course.
yeah, it's an easy mistake.
Yeah, I gotta keep thinking.
Just think of it in terms of the asymmetry.
Right.
Dude, speaking of asymmetry,
Yeah. What about the asymmetry, man?
I bought some of those hot cross buns, and they have some pretty severe asymmetric design. They're around somewhere. It'll be funny if I show them on camera. And there goes actually the echelon too.
Ouch.
Just got a report of an infantry
Where
unit.
They're in a
they
plastic
at?
bag. They'll be
Where they
around.
at? Okay, I'm gonna have a look. Where's he?
Is
Are you
that-
gonna take them
is that
back, or
next
like
to
is that
the-
these?
is that
I
in
think I got
there?
them here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Capture point.
You see what I mean?
Okay. Wow, these are some pretty asymmetrical.
Yeah. So
hot
look
cross
at the top.
buns.
So
It's nonsense.
one of them's like, which one is it? Yeah. If you look at the top two, one of them is like twice the size as the other one. Like that's like OKW Vet 5 up here, and this is like a Jackson. There's like
No, that's like
the sca-
Convet 3 or something.
yeah, the scaling is not fair. It is definitely asymmetric size proportion, and they were all like that too. There wasn't
Yeah.
just the one that I picked out for a joke. There were several that were like that, and actually the Puma has arrived, and as a result, it's the emergency M10, and that is the name of a Company of Heroes 2 parody, if I've ever heard one. Can you give us a melody of like a
The emergency.
M10? Yeah.
Look, I mean, I'll think on it and I'll come back to you. So. Look, I mean, I'll think on it and I'll come back to you.
M10 tank destroyer.
Yeah,
M10 tank destroyer.
yeah.
Ready for deployment.
Emergency M10 going in, gonna win when I do a spin, crushing your infantry up against that garrison.
M10 tank destroyer.
You got a Puma, you're gonna be a loser. Got penetration for days, check out these sick plays. One of my ways of bringing back the M10 craze.
M10 tank destroyer.
So go pop your smoke, what a joke. I'll bet you into my trap and pop my he-vap.
...2017, March 28th, balance patch.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bag, by the way, just letting you know, since we're gonna split those hot cross buns 50-50, I'd like the ones on the left, so...
Oh man. No fair.
I'm digging the additional hot cross buns. Hey man, I didn't buy the pack.
Ooh.
Oh, Shumana retreat. There's so many wipes. Devm is losing squad after squad.
Do you prefer the fruit ones?
They got
The
wiped
fruit
out.
ones. It varies. Depends what kind of mood I'm in. I mean, the fruit ones are nice. Yeah, the fruit ones are nice if I'm feeling the fruit ones.
Right.
But yeah, if not, I mean, the regular ones are fine. So yeah, I'm pretty 50-50. It's whether I'm feeling the fruit or not.
I'm not really a fan. Those are fruit-free ones. So the M10 has arrived, and this Puma has to be a little bit more careful now. There is a lot of squads with the snares, so yeah.
Where he takes a Puma shot. Could be Faust
Oh
in
my
here.
God.
That could be 3 Faust. That's so dangerous.
Well, it's gonna be one Faust.
Under attack.
I mean, on a retreat path.
This M20.
Been assigned to field op.
I mean, he can't exactly dive it with the Puma because there's riflemen in the way with their grenades.
Balls can't really chain Faust it. That's a really good positioning with the M50 by Devm. It actually goes inside the garrison. It's important that the M10 is actually protected, and we do see that. That being said, Incendiary does come out onto the the 50 cal. It's going to be forced around. Will we see the Puma dive in?
Now, the Puma actually has to be careful of the 50 cal with the AP ammo, because that will actually do a lot of damage. Okay, he's fully repaired
Fully
the M10. But getting some more shots off. Like, he's actually going in with the M10 here, but there's a Raketen setting up. Oh, both hits the elevation.
Elevation.
Oh, man. Don't you love elevation?
Yeah, M10 goes into the danger zone, however. He actually goes over the elevation. Currently blocked from Raketen firing thanks to the well-placed tree. And we'll actually walk away from this one. Puma's still reverse moving its way out of there.
Tank destroyer.
Raketen's still on the field. We'll actually set up.
Okay, that was a weird angle to set up there. The Stuart's actually looking for this Puma. Nice juking here. The Puma does get out. The Raketten still... Oh, the
Devm
M10!
predicted it. Devm knows.
Now he's got Zukio, he's got a couple of squads. He pops the smoke. Beautiful play thus far. This is going to be a Faust. And the M10 looking for a shot. It gets the attack ground off. He will be trading this this M10, however. But not a problem because Devm's gone for call-in, so his teching costs are non-existent right now. He's got another M10 on the field. Still got his Stuart. And this Raketten actually going to survive. Oh no, it gets wiped there.
I've never seen a player want a 1v1 trade as much as Devm just wanted that 1v1 trade against the Boomer.
Yeah.
1 for 1. I mean, like, yeah, he was diving deep with the M10. That was some pretty bold play, and he'll be going after the Panzer II here. The Stuart's in the right position. M10 chases it down. It's Emergency 2, and it's going to die here.
Yeah, that Panzer II had no business fighting that M10.
Out of control and out of there. Stuart has been Faust, but there's really no follow-up. Another Puma's going to be built now. By the time it arrives, the Stuart's going to be well out of trouble.
Yeah, and the longer that Hans has to stay with these light vehicles with his Puma, he can't tech up and get any tanks. With Devm, the M10s can crush infantry. They're tank destroyers, but they also counter infantry because reasons. And then there's also the bulldozer too. So if they keep trading M10s for the Pumas, that does favor Devm. But HelpingHans' infantry count is much higher. He's got Fusiliers, he's got some Volks. There's surprisingly no weapon racks though.
Yeah, we don't see it yet from Devm. He's floating up munitions. Maybe he wants to use the howitzer barrage if possible.
He actually bought a new squad of riflemen rather than getting weapon racks, and I don't really like that because it's just going to be a lot of manpower bleed. Vet 0 rifleman with no upgrades. Oh, no, I actually got the Stuart. I thought it brought him dishonor against the M10. Okay, the Raketten going to be setting up now against this M10. It will win this fight, but he actually can juke the turret arc. The Puma is definitely more agile, but the road giving him extra rotation there. Still, the Raketten needs to fire a shot. Oh, wow.
For the Puma as well.
I think the Puma actually has more sight range. Pretty sure the M10 can't use its full attack range. So, none of them die. And that would have been really frustrating if the Puma shot by using its extended sight range, and the M10 returned fire and killed him. Because there's no hold fire.
Yeah.
So you actually can't prevent your Puma from firing at the M10. Which then reveals itself to the M10, which then fires back and kills the Puma.
I'm sure we've all lost squads to that issue, so...
Well, same with the Jackson, right? If you have a Jackson on no health, it's gonna fire at like an elephant or something, and just reveal himself and get blown up. Yeah, this isn't the Jesus patch, or the GCS patch, so there is no hold fire.
Yeah, there's the howitzer barrage as well. Odd placement.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot of bars that Devm threw away just then.
Yeah, I don't agree with this howitzer barrage, as you say.
Capture point is being overrun.
Like, what's the point? He's gonna, I guess, he's gonna delay his cutoff, but does that matter?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been much better invested in bars for these riflemen rather than trading against the bolts and especially the Panzer Fusiliers. That's a hard trade, especially when they're upgraded with G43s. Riflemen are gonna have a tough time. I have an idea. I mean, those hot cross buttons, they're well preserved, right? I mean, like, yeah? I mean, they have like plenty of sugar in them. What I'm thinking is we get the top two, and instead of saying asymmetrical design, we just hold up the hot cross buttons every time we need to do that. Makes it pretty obvious.
I don't know how easily recognizable it was on the camera though, but I don't know. That's maybe. Either way,
just save us so much time. Have the hot cross buttons on standby.
I'm surprised he actually evac that, and rather than trying to wipe that.
He probably wants to try and probably wanted to try and wipe this 50 cal if there was a late retreat.
Oh well, Stuart could go down here.
The hold fire reveals itself to the Raketten.
Well, but he has prioritized vehicles, so he can not fire if he doesn't want to. The problem is against vehicles. You can't prevent your anti-vehicle thing from firing at vehicles, which you know those games we played versus A in Stormless. There was in game number 2,
I don't remember
Yeah.
any such games ever happening.
There's actually a situation where I used hold fire and I actually, like, it was really good because there was like a wounded, I can't remember what it was, but there was a wounded tank, you know, let's say a panther, and there was like a full health tiger. I put my IS-2 on hold fire. It went around the corner. It didn't fire at the full health tiger, which was in front and would have normally received the shot, but then I manually clicked the wounded panther and blew it up. So it's just such a nice mechanic to have.
Yeah, that's important.
And yeah.
Who has the victory points? 424. Excuse me, for HelpingHans. 307 for man Devm.
Supply line just got cut off.
Certainly looks like a game that could draw out here.
Yeah, the game's really going to come down to how many cheesy wipes can Devm get with either M10 crushes or if he wants to go for bulldozers with bulldozers. Because he is not going to win these infantry battles. I mean, I guess he has the 50 cals kind of to fight around them. The thing is with the Fusiliers, they get sprint at, is it Vet 5? Yeah, they get sprint Vet 5, so you can use them to flank. You can't flank in combat, but you can use it to kind of get those easier angles off.
HelpingHans still banking up fuel here. Do you think it's possible that he wants to go for Jagdtiger?
No.
I mean,
Hell
it's
no.
not the map for it, and he's against M10s. He just hasn't gone for the Panzer headquarters yet, and it just makes me think, I mean, yeah, it would be a very un-HelpingHans thing to do, to go for it. This is certainly, if you're wondering what the ideal situation is to go for a Jagdtiger, this is not it.
Yeah. In a 1v1, you pretty much never want to go for it. Oh, nice wipe though, gets the 50 cal. HelpingHans, it actually could just spam Pumas. That wouldn't be a bad thing because the M10 Bulldogs don't have much health. So you can kind of just play around them. But, I mean, even if he goes for his battle group, I mean, what's he going to get? Whatever he... Oh my god!
Keeping in mind that on the Devm commander, Armor Company commander, the bulldozers have twice the fire rate and 3 times the accuracy. So.
All for the price of $5.
Yeah, all for the price of $5.
$4.99.
Exactly, yeah.
That wipe
and you
was...
get to look at Devm's smiling face, wouldn't you?
Man,
Yeah,
that was
gross.
I hate that so much. The bulldozers does that a lot actually. It does scatter a lot, but it actually hits pretty hard. You can do wipe things pretty easily. Same with Raketans especially. Like, I mean, this is good spacing here, so you won't wipe that. But a lot of times they get clumped up. And you just wipe support weapons with them.
Yeah, like that Strumpadier squad was clumped.
Yeah, but they weren't even that clumped. Yeah,
that was the
a
most
joke.
unfortunate scatter because it landed like directly in the middle of 4 models. That was, yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, in my GG mod, I limited how many models an AoE weapon can limit to damage. It was like, I think it was 2 for most tanks, 3 for some tanks, and 3 for all mortars. And that's what I was trying to push as well, but everyone seems to think that that obviously would benefit 6-man squads, which is just insane because the difference between 100 to 0ing a squad is far more significant than I only lost half of my squad. Oh no, that's a shame. I have to reinforce it now. Still, Vet 3 Stewart has done some work, but he will be going down.
Raketan finds it in their crosshairs. Devm down to bulldozer and single M10. It's a veterancy 2 now. Again, the infantry count looking much better for Hans. A couple of Volts, almost fully vetted. Has a Fusiliers getting up there in the veterancy as well.
So it's just Puma spam, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Raketan, okay, HelpingHans having 2 Raketans, you should be able to win these tank battles by playing around them. And with the Pumas, you're in the commanding position because the Puma is not necessarily stronger because the Puma will often bounce versus the M10, where the M10 will always pen versus the Puma. But the Puma it's faster, it has more sight range, it has the smoke, so you're generally the one deciding the engagements unless you really get caught out of position.
Also a great opportunity for an aggressively placed Panzer headquarters. Devm really doesn't have the tools to deal with an aggressively placed truck at this stage. His main tools will be tank-based, and they're a double Raket and double Puma, and as Callum was just saying, that's really playing right into HelpingHans' hands. Hopefully,
So
I would love to see an aggressively placed Panzer headquarters.
Devm finally got his weapon racks. So he's actually rebuilt his lieutenant. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why.
Had it for a while, so.
I guess it's
I mean,
cheaper.
It's better
It's too.
Vet Zero than a.
Yeah,
Rifle
it comes with
squad,
a bar.
so,
It's 200 manpower, I suppose, but I still wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good flank. A good flank here with the very, very mobile bulldozer.
About 50-50 map control now. Another Raketin getting at it on here for Hans.
Wow.
Just maybe worried about the Pumas getting swarmed, and having the trifecta of Raketin certainly limits the M10's mobility when it comes to those dives.
Oh, the Raketin Illuminati triangle.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
you
a
want.
very dangerous strategy. We often see it in high-level players, is you basically just completely encapsulate something in Raketins that actually can't path out of it. Do recommend 10 out of 10 IGN. Gonna be a nade off. No, I actually had to cancel it there.
Plus, it also plays the Illuminati sound effect if you get it off perfectly, which is
Yeah.
cool. Glad that's in the game files.
So the VPs, it's actually interesting because they both have 300 VPs, and it's been a pretty action-packed game, yet there hasn't been a lot of VPs swaying to either player. Jeez. Devm is regretting not getting a 50 cal on the pintle on his bulldozer.
Smart retreat here.
Do you see how clumped that MG crew
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, and I believe HelpingHans saw as well with the retreat coming through, so. Surprised at how well Devm's training when it comes to this engagement. He's at such a low squad count. If we look towards even the pop cap, 69 for Hans compared to the 46 with Devm, and both of his tanks are currently garrisoned. So.
Yeah, Devm does that. Is he loses squads and yet he still plays so well. But there's two Pumas now. They both got a bit of veterancy to their names, and these M10s have to be a bit careful. It is a nade off on one of these Pumas, and
that
maybe
was smart.
maybe another one too.
Yeah, could be another one. I'm sure that was a bait. I'm almost 99% sure. You see that Puma play where it looked like they were going to go aggressive? I'm sure that was a bait into an insta-M10 from Devm. That was really cool.
Well, the bait,
Yeah.
the baitee hath become the baited.
Yeah.
Is that right? The baitee.
Yeah, that
okay,
works.
I got it.
Yeah. No, I followed. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that's what it looked like, because HelpingHans had no intention of diving those vetted Pumas, and he's just like, look, I have Pumas, and everyone goes, and M10 spawns. So.
Oh, the Death Squad, the Vet 5 Fusiliers, these things are actually OP. These are actually
They're
really OP.
busted.
They're just the flat bonuses they get. They just get insanely high amount of veterancy scaling.
I forgot about the weapon range Vet 4. So.
Oh, yeah, we did
Yeah.
weapon range. It's
Yeah.
crazy. They have the sprint on top of it. The G43s are good. They're a 6-man squad, so they're very mobile. They have grenades, which aren't very good, but they have the AT grenades. And we have still the white potential from this bulldozer, even with a 6-man squad. He has to be careful, especially if that 50 cal starts chasing them down.
We're losing a capture point.
These are being fought over. The squad's having nades. I mean, that was almost a nade standoff from the looks of things.
Oh, he can't quite take that 50
that's
cal
not
there
good, yeah.
with the bulldozer rearing his head.
Still available in the middle. Really important that Devm caps that one back. These bolts actually going to go for it? The bolt's going for it? Nah, no way. They're just going for the cap from the looks of things. Go for the Faust as well, threatening the bulldozer.
Nice. There's the world's fastest retreat that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a bit of a move up here. We've got two M10s, a bulldozer. They have to be careful not to get caught in each other. And there's actually already a Raketin in position. Oh man, that could have been a wipe there. Actually, a nade comes forward. There was a wipe there because they were clumped up in front of the heavy cover. They can't quite steal that one. No, he can actually. There's a rifle squad nearby to take his place.
Sherman bulldozer ready.
Nice. Bulldozer's still taking shots from these Pumas. We see one of the Pumas actually diving here.
Yeah, nice work.
Go down.
Got it with a Panzer Faust.
Medium tank.
Gonna steal that Raketin. And there's another bulldozer to take his place. It's the tag team of call-ins.
Here we go.
Wow, the Vet 3 M10. That is very, very fast here. He's past the Raketins.
Well, you see one of the Raketans retreat, maybe to pull back for these Pumas.
This is a huge RNG battle.
Yeah.
It's just who misses the most. But actually, the M10 will have the advantage there again with the vision range. As long as he keeps the
tagged
distance.
up by these base lacks? I'm pretty sure they will.
Oh, there's going to be a
Well,
nade
that's a
too.
bait.
Yeah, he has the munitions for it. Nade.
Did
Oh
he
my
get it?
god, he missed it. No, he got it now. But it's going to be the world's longest grenade. There it is.
Hey, good stuff. Raketan turns. It's not going to be blocked in though. Needs to turn around. This is one dead M10 though. Maybe give the veterancy over the Puma. If the Puma takes the shot, no, Raketan's going to finish it. Bulldozer's still here. Let's see a Raketan wipe.
Okay, this M10's actually, rather the Puma's on full health, and it is Vet 3 now. Mobility and the damage, it's actually a pretty big deal getting the extra damage output. I guess. Oh no, he's out of munitions, he can't Faust this one. Whoa.
Might be 25 munitions now, but it's 15 more than Hans has in his bank.
Oh wow, what a lucky wipe.
It's very fortunate for Hans, as we saw another squad of Devms going down during those engagements.
Devm needed that wipe too. The squad count is much less now, but there's actually 3 MGs. I believe 2 of those are 50 cals. Oh man, one's a peasant MG34. How would you feel being this MG crew when there's like 50 cals and Vickers running around?
I don't know. I'd probably be talking about how big my arc is or something.
Right. Well, not if you're comparing it to a Vickers, but this could be another wipe here, and this is important. The suppression comes through. So, HelpingHans now deciding to take this advantage and consolidating it by going for his next truck, his Panzer headquarters.
I feel he's kind of lost the momentum, which is weird because it's like, yeah, I swear, Devm could be on one squad and have like a tank, a bulldozer, and still have the momentum in the game and like have 3 VPs somehow.
Yeah.
Just it's insane what this guy can do with low pop cap. Completely nuts. So will it be defensive? It might be defensive. Wow, that really does surprise me. And it wasn't the truck turn setup. It was the
Well, he was setting it up, but the cutoff was taken, so he had to
Right.
he wouldn't go through with it.
Okay, so one benefit, we have to remember with the Panther headquarters placement, it could give the Puma some safety. That's the M10 route. That road is M10 territory when they've been diving after these Pumas. So having the Panther headquarters set up and covering that part of the road as well as the top right-hand flank near the fuel point could be really crucial. That could actually be a very strategic place to have the Panzer headquarters to give the Pumas more safety.
Wow, double Raketan steal. That's actually a big deal here for Devm. Because now it's a bulldozer, an M10, and 2 Raketans versus 2 vetted Pumas. And those Raketans are stealth, so it's very hard to see them coming. And one thing that Devm has done incredibly well is just by putting so much emphasis on denying the cutoff and just the munitions point as well. Hans doesn't have enough munitions to spam mines. And that actually gives the M10s a lot more freedom, because the M10s want to play very aggressively, but if your opponent potentially has mines, then you have to think about that and not quite commit when you want to.
Bulldozer out on the field here. Seeing Wipe City. Pim's actually going to smoke off. Again, the cutoff is taken by Devm.
Oh wow, that Raketan's gonna go down here. It could be a 3rd Raketen.
Devm wants the sound effect here. He capped this one with the rifleman.
Oh,
Oh, brutal.
Stern Pioneer vs Bulldozer, round 2. Bulldozer's, I think, quite underrated. It's a little bit inconsistent. It can just miss every shot, but I think people tend to exaggerate its inaccuracy.
Second bulldozer on the left flank. It's just going to cost manpower bleed every time Hans goes in.
Yeah, and right now, Hans is definitely struggling to actually have much presence because he went for that Panzer headquarters. If he kept spamming Pumas, he would have been at a better spot. But once he does get something out, he's going to have a lot more presence. It could be King Tiger, has all these trucks now, just needs a bit more fuel, and still has plenty of VPs, but if he can't hold his cutoff, he won't be able to get enough fuel for that King Tiger.
How many of these bulldozers have the M50? No, neither of them. Oh, sorry, the 50 cal. So yeah, neither of them actually do. It would be nice to see that upgrade. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
Worth the munitions for sure.
certainly has munitions. Actually, you know what would be really cool is seeing a sneaky engineer and just get some hardcore defensive mines and then just don't reveal the engineers, and then you just use them to get baits because you just don't expect it.
You don't see the squad for sure. 200 points now for HelpingHans, but the 284 of Devm. Odds are quite low, and only one Raketin currently in the hands of Devm. Could have kept back another one, has decided not to.
Okay, so Hans is going for his Panther. I think that's pretty clever because he's going to struggle to get this cutoff back. And he doesn't want to wait until he has 30 pop VPs and then all of a sudden gets his King Tiger. But that's the 240 mil, so that will be pushing off Hans. Just using it for area deny. It's all he wants to do is just hold the cutoff.
Devm some more time to play around with these bulldozers. Of course, another Predator squad off on the left-hand side. One of the other annoying things about bulldozers, even if they're not wiping models, you know, which they are, over time they just drain your health, and that's the battle group takes longer and longer to heal up each squad and get them back on the field. So they buy a lot of time. You drop a couple of models, and then it's also the healing involved.
Yeah, and it's the threat of the wipes is, oh man, my squad's on 80% health. Better retreat because it may get one-shot by the RNG scatter. So yeah, you know, if your squads aren't at maximum health at all times, you all of a sudden get a little bit anxious.
So at the moment, Devm's quite extended. This is going to be a good opportunity for Hans to go in.
Okay, Panther's arrived.
Panther bind.
This is actually very important now. Using the Panther as a bit of a meat shield for the Pumas would be quite effective. Has to be careful he doesn't overextend himself. Get all his vehicles quite low. He only has one squad of Stern Pioneers, but he does also have the repairs. The double Puma going to be flanking this bulldozer.
So the Raketten's been recapped, and we could see the Panther going down here.
Yeah, this is some kind of weird positioning here, but the Panther does go down. So that's kind of what I meant by overextending. Trading an M10, probably 2 bulldozers in the process. And we have a bit of a veterancy party here on these Pumas. Vet 4, Vet 5. And that is pretty scary.
They can take this trade for sure. There we go. Oh, Puma actually misses a shot. The last one comes in, and Devm. It's a tank wiping party. These Pumas almost both the veterancy fire.
Increased firing range, so they outrange the M10s. They can see units behind sight blockers. I want to see what that looks like. It's probably just like... That's the wrong player.
Version, so.
Yeah, I hate that so much. It's probably just you see the icon, like the searchlight half track.
Yeah.
So, what else do they get? Mobility, weapon potency. Okay, so they don't actually get any more penetration.
No.
Oh, weapon potency. Oh, that's the Vet 3, sorry. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I mean, the Vet 5 probably isn't that good, really. I guess it helps you know when you can and cannot engage. But not as powerful as something like now has extra penetration. That would be insane.
So, Devm, he's in trouble. He's down to 56 fuel now and low on squads. You know he's good, but there's only so much you can do with 32 pop cap and limited amount of fuel.
Yeah, these Pumas also can do some damage versus infantry. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit, especially since this lieutenant doesn't have any AT grenades.
Capture point is being overrun.
Inside. Alright, there's still 2 Rakettens in the hands of Devm. AT's not really a problem. You can save up for another bulldozer.
Wow, look at this Volk squad going to town on the riflemen. I don't know the stats, but I wouldn't be surprised if a single bar is better than 2 STGs. Yeah, Devm just lost a lot of squads. He's not kidding there. Sync error. Man, Devm drop hacking. That was a nice game though, and one of the problems with the bulldozers is they were giving a lot of veterancy away to these Pumas. But also the Pumas are just a lot easier to preserve because they have the smoke. They're just a lot more mobile with the sight. So that's kind of one of the main differences between the Pershing and the M10s is you just can't use Pumas against the Pershing. It's just not going to work. Yeah. Whereas Pumas do work versus M10s, versus Shermans, versus Jacksons, versus a lot of things. The Puma spam can work, just not against heavy tanks, which you often don't see on allies. Like you wouldn't want to use them versus comets, for example. But there aren't many things you want to use versus comets because comets are comets.
Well put, Callum. So yeah, GG, very nicely played. Hans just winning out with overall, solid mechanics and good unit preservation. Always an important part of competitive heroes too. Devm just doesn't find the wipes he's looking for and has some pretty bad tank trade right there at the end. So a lot of penetration coming in from the Pumas.
Yeah, it's nice to see Hans play this well because he does play a lot, and you can really tell Devm is just such a long-term competitive heroes to professional. He always kind of comes back into the scene and just wrecks face, but you can see he doesn't play the game so much anymore because there's no way that Hans would lose that many squads because Hans just has better preservation, better multitasking because he plays this a lot and he definitely makes good use of his practice in order to make sure he has a coherent composition. He doesn't make a lot of dumb ideas where he just builds units and it's like, why are you doing that? Like a lot of players that we cast do. And yeah, good unit preservation. Didn't lose that many squads, did he? Apart from a couple of cheesy wipes.
Really. Yeah. Not many mistaken wipes where you actually make a mistake and lose a squad. So
that's
not like, oh no, I had a full health Strim Pioneer squad, but he had a bulldozer. So.
Isn't that the sad thing about Coh? Is that when someone loses a squad, you have to specify whether or not they actually made a mistake or got outplayed, or if it was like, no, you just got screwed over by RNG because no one wants to fix AoE weaponry. Feels bad, man.
Feels real bad. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoy the new patch. We certainly do. Many more fun games coming your way soon now that that's out.
Yeah, it's really cool. Everyone's posting their replays. So thanks to everyone who has been posting the replays on the forums. And we will see you next time.